true nature of the universe will certainly challenge the perceptions of most people, the emerging wisdom of spiritual science has rendered the atheist materialist paradigm extinct. Consciousness, life, the beautiful diversity, complexity, and interconnectedness of nature and the universe are not the result of some random, coincidental physical phenomenon. The odds against our universe containing the precise physical forces and attributes necessary to sustain life is 1 octillion to 1. In other words, there is only a 1 in 1 octillion chance that the universe was unintelligently designed. So if there is an intelligent designer, a creative force beyond all space, time, and matter, what are the properties of this entity? Theologists and metaphysicians throughout history have agreed that this intelligent creative force must, by definition, be all-knowing, omniscient, all-powerful, omnipotent, and all-present, omnipresent. Furthermore, by definition, if God, an omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent being, exists, then we all must be a part of it. Either God is causal, singular, and separate, an outside entity somehow responsible for his own existence, the creation of the universe, and the creation of other beings to recognize him, or existence is non-causal, plural, parts and whole of all that is, with nothing outside us, because we are all infinite, self-reflexive pieces of God, interacting, changing, acting out eternity. Many people are happy to accept the notion that God is some external entity like a bearded white man in the clouds who created us and watches over the universe like a cosmic fishbowl. Others are happy to accept that there is no God and the universe, consciousness, life, matter, space, and time are all the result of a random, spontaneous Big Bang accident. Personally, neither of these ideas have ever resonated with me, and both are relatively modern. If instead we consult the most ancient culture and the oldest texts in recorded history, the Indian Vedas, a very different story presents itself. Roger Stevens wrote, "Here's a parable, an analogy, which comes from India, from the Upanishads, and is thousands of years old. It presents a parabolic answer to the root question of all religion and philosophy. Who am I, and what is this? And does so in a way which everyone can relate to. In the beginning of the world, and though it probably had no ultimate beginning as we think of them, you have to start somewhere, there was only Brahma. Being all there was, and therefore totally known to himself, Brahma soon realized that this totality of awareness would eventually become extremely boring. After all, when you know everything there is to know, then there's no surprise, nothing to keep you interested. It's like reading the same book for the 78 millionth time. Anyway, since he was omnipotent, all-powerful, omniscient, all-knowing, and omnipresent, all-everywhere, Brahma decided to create a diversion for himself, a way of introducing the elements of surprise, intrigue, and drama into his experience. He thought, what would it be like to forget who I really am? So he invented the game of cosmic hide-and-seek. According to the rules of this game, Brahma would pretend to break pieces of himself off from the whole, so that to all appearances they would seem separate. That's the hide part. Then, as the apparently separate consciousness at the center of each of those apparently separate pieces, and through their apparently separate and unique perspectives, he would seek to rediscover who he really was, which was, of course, everything. Imagine seeing yourself from an infinite number of different perspectives, each one initially ignorant of its relationship to all the rest. Imagine going to sleep and dreaming a different lifetime each night, each lasting for more or less years, each complete with the full range and variety of emotional life and death details. Imagine having the same dream, but playing a different role in it each night, seeing it through different eyes each time. Well, guess who those apparently separate pieces are? Since there is only one I am in the universe, one consciousness, it's all a game of hide and seek, and each one of us is in the same state. I'm it, and you're it. you shouldn't just take on any one religion and call it your own, because that's like a waste of your mind and your life. We've got this whole life to live here, existing in this big mystery. I think it's everybody's responsibility not to make such a hasty decision as to buy wholesale some prepackaged box of beliefs, and instead to withhold judgment as long as possible, all the way, I'd say, because I don't think anybody really knows what happens at the moment of or after death. So instead of having it be a foregone conclusion, how about everybody live their life in the present and create your own religion? I think everybody should have their own religion, and they should be their only disciple, their only follower, and everyone should have their own metaphysics like that.
Right.
My personal belief, I don't know what you'd want to call it, what I feel is happening here is that we're in a dream. There's an objective, omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent being, consciousness and intelligence that exists before and beyond all space, time, and matter. People have called that God, Tao, Brahma, Void, infinite consciousness, you name it. It's the one with a capital O thing that exists and pre-exists the material world. Now, if you're an objective being like that, all known to yourself, what do you do with your existence? The only thing you can do with your existence is to play make-believe, hide and seek, to create subjective things. You're the objective thing, right? So you have to create and you're a singularity as well. So you create a dualistic world like we're in here, sun, moon, day, night, male, female, inhale, exhale, everything good and evil, it's all dualistic like this. Of course, God is a singularity. So God, the good with an O, creates the devil, the evil with a D, because it's necessary for there to be this other element. Otherwise, it's just God. It's just angelic robots on repeat. You have to have a demon or a devil or an evil for there to be freedom.